Hello, this is Jeff Altgilbers. I want to welcome all of you to our Monday mentoring call. It's March 31, and if you're listening or hearing this in Asia, it might be Tuesday. So it's your Tuesday mentoring call, or for those of you that just catch it in the back office or on the IMT channel, it's whenever you catch the call. It could be your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, who knows what, whenever you catch it. Well, we're so glad that so many of you made this call and taking time out of your busy schedule to be able to learn. Really, this is why we do this call, and my name is Jeff Altgilbers. I'm a Platinum International Diamond with 4Life Research. I want to share with you things that I've learned in my journey in network marketing, and hopefully it'll be able to help you, give you some direction, some ideas about how to be successful in this industry, and also how to help those in your team be successful. We talked about last week, I had Ellie, if you remember, from Germany. We were talking about building an effective team. And if you haven't heard that call, go to your back office or go to the IMT channel and listen to that conference call that we had on building an effective team. I like some of the things that she was sharing that they were doing as leaders in Germany in their what I call offline meetings. And in a way, this is an online meeting because some of you are listening on Skype, but if you're doing it by phone, we're certainly not physically getting together. So it's a meeting as well. And so utilize technology as much as you can. We certainly encourage that with our online system, with what we call today social marketing or network marketing, but we're doing it in a social sense. A lot has changed, and thank God it has, with the internet, and now all the tools that we have are just at our disposal to be able to build our business globally. To give someone a presentation, we can be in Tennessee and presenting to somebody in England or Spain or anywhere in the world by emailing a presentation and then Skyping that person or calling them on the phone, enrolling them in the business right online. We can build a global business. We teach our leaders how to use technology this way. They can be very successful. International Mentors Team, we believe very much in that, in taking advantage of technology. At the same time, where we can and when we can, we certainly like to get together because this is very much a relationship business. We love getting together. In some of the countries where the internet is not as available and people must rely on meetings to be able to get together, somebody presents and the products, the plan, business testimonies, product testimonies, all that is very invaluable. It's very needed. And that's part of our system too. We have the balance, the yin, the yang. We use technology at the same time. We do things in an old school method in areas where people just they have to be able to get together to see a presentation because they really don't have access to a lot of these tools. So what I want to talk about tonight is a little bit different shift, and that is how to build an effective team by understanding personality types. Personality types. It also has to do with prospecting. So we might say prospecting, understanding personality types in doing so, and also in team building, why that's important. Everybody's different. Thank God everybody's not like me. If that was the case, we would have never made it to the moon. Well, some people believe we never did. Believe me, we did. The Americans were the first ones to get there. But everybody is different. And when we prospect people, we need to understand that. And there's certain things that we need to do. And I want to talk about it in two different ways. When we prospect people, and keep in mind, for those that join us, they're going to be part of our team. Our team is going to be made up of different types of personalities. If we're not careful, we can turn them off very quickly. On the other hand, we can also become very irritated. And that's because people are different. They're different. And I like to put it like in 4 categories. 4 categories. And the 4 basic personality types, you'll have some that are controlling. The controller, the promoter, the analyzer, and then the supporter. I'll say that again, the controller, the promoter, the analyzer, the supporter. I read not too long ago that someone likened them to sharks, dolphins, urchins, and whales. So if you did a vertical line and then went across horizontally with another line, so you have 4 quadrants there, like shark, dolphin, shark on the left top, dolphin on the right top, urchin, the bottom left, and whale, the bottom right. They're very different in nature. And when we prospect people, we need to be aware of that. Whether we're prospecting them on the phone or if we're doing it in person, we need to understand the behavior. And if you're getting together with people, their body language. That's very important when you watch them. I remember a long time ago I learned that, If you have people, and I've seen it at meetings, and their arms are just crossed, very tight, that kind of person is basically trying to protect himself, and he's not very open to what you're saying. When I'm sitting at a table with somebody, and if I notice that, they like to lean on their hand with their elbow on the table, I don't want to spend my time doing a lot of gesturing because that person is analytical. He's analyzing what I'm saying. And actually, when you look at those types, the analytical type, I guess those are the urchins. They're the ones who like to collect information. Urchins, by the way, are those things that cling to the coral reefs and all that. They're clingers. They just gather things. But those kind of information, that kind of personality type that gathers information, they become very irritated with a shark-like personality. When I get around people like that, I like to slow down. I like to speak slowly, and I also like to give facts. I don't want to give them any enthusiasm. Dolphins do that. Dolphins like to skip and jump and have a good time. Believe me, that will irritate an urchin very much. And so we have to get good at learning how to read people's personalities. And if you can, sure, there's books about it out there, and I'd encourage you to read them. But the sharper we can get in that area when we talk about prospecting people, knowing how to read people, knowing how to understand their personality type, these types, the controller, the promoter, the analyzer, the supporter, then we're going to be more successful in how we prospect people, the results we get from that prospecting, and then also in building an effective organization. Well, let's get into it a little bit more. Why don't we do that? When we talk about sharks are great. They're very aggressive. When you, I guess some people call them type A personalities. They're very motivated. They're very goal-oriented. They're driven on results. And, they like to control things too. That can be a downside. And if you're like a whale, whales are more supportive, then you see those type of people in your organization. You can play sort of a counterbalance to what they do. In other words, they're going to rub people wrong in the organization, and that's where you can jump in there as an upline. And I've seen that before. I won't mention any of my leaders. I remember many times, when I've worked with some of the shark-like golds, they would rub people wrong, and then I would just jump in there and play the supportive role. I'm more, and you'll see that we sort of have not just one characteristic. Sometimes you can have people that are shark-like, and they have a secondary personality where they're more whale-like. And they're very aggressive, but at the same time they're caring. Some of them aren't. Some of them are just sharks. And in my case, I think you'll see that more of my dominant quality is I'm somewhere between a dolphin and a whale. I can tend to be a little shark-like in my personality, but at the end of the day, I think if anybody knows Jeff Altgilbers, then they know that I'm a loving, caring person for people. And at the same time, I like to have a good time. In other words, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. But when we prospect people, when we do that, if we're doing it on the phone, if we're calling somebody that we've known, let's just say that you just joined For Life, you've made your prospect list. You need to, we talked about this in the past, about grading your leads. A, for, a shark-like personality, somebody who's successful, somebody who likes to make money, somebody who's aggressive. B, for someone that's sort of, that's sort of like that. They might be a whale type, They're people-oriented. They have very good people skills. So they might be a B. And then a C is you're really not sure, but you definitely want to introduce the products to them. At the same time, when you grade it that way, also take note of their personalities. Take note of that. Is this person a shark, a dolphin, an urchin, a whale? Take note of that. Because if you're going to get on the phone and start calling, your prospects, people that you know, what you don't want to do is do it, for example, on a day that you're not feeling good if you're prospecting sharks. If you're going to call a shark and you're out of energy that day, you're depressed that day, you had a bad day, don't call the shark personalities. Don't do that. Not the aggressive ones. It needs to be on a day you feel good, your energy's up, you're ready to call your friend. Again, you're not going to do a presentation. That's not the point of the call, is it? It's an invitation. And that is just to let them know that you're going to email them the link. Again, always remember that with any of these people that we prospect, when you call them, it's going to be, you found something you're excited about. You think it's something you both can do, have a lot of fun, make a lot of money together, and you're going to email them the link. And if they just got just a little time, because it's a 10-minute presentation. Keep in mind, sharks, and this is probably true of dolphins, whales type personalities, they don't like long presentations. They don't like that. They like a presentation to get to the point. Get to the point. Our presentation does that. We cover network marketing, social media, and the wellness industry all together in one presentation, how they can cash in on this mega trend. So when you've done that and you've called that person and you've made that presentation, or that not presentation, I guess the invitation, excuse me. You made that invitation, then you let that person view it, you call them back, you enroll them. It's very simple. We always keep it simple. Sharks like that. Now, the shark likes to be convinced that there's a business opportunity. That there's a business opportunity here. So he's not so much into, maybe into the drama, if you will, but he wants his facts. Well, we certainly have great facts because we have a technology that nobody has out there, a product that nobody has out there. So that those are important facts to him because he wants to be sure, and I'm thinking of myself here, that he's not going to find this in all the other companies out there, that it is exclusive. So he can really get behind something like that, put his heart into it, and be very aggressive with it. Those are also the type of personalities that want to know how they're going to make money. Now, they don't necessarily want to know all the details. Again, they don't have a lot of patience. Sharks normally don't. So, but just an overview, and certainly in our 10-minute presentation, it's great for sharks. You know, sponsor 6, they sponsor 6, to go 4 levels deep with that, and you're earning over $17,000 a month based on the fact that everybody moves 2 bottles of Transfer Factor Plus. Keep in mind, if you talk too slow to them, they'll lose interest. Again, the presentation does a great job in explaining our industry, our product, and how we make money. Let's talk about the whales. You know, they're sort of opposite to what a shark is. Again, whales are very caring. I mentioned that. They're the supporters, you know, the caring ones, like Mother Teresa. We have so many examples in history of caring ones, people that love others. They're the kind of people that, you know, that make sure that everybody in their organization is doing well. They're calling them, how are you doing? They're supportive. They always have a shoulder for somebody to cry on. Those kind of people, those personality types, when you do a presentation to them, they need to see how they're going to feel about it. And the one thing they don't like is a fast talker. So we need to slow down with whale-type personalities. We have to be able to show whale-type personalities that we're very cause-oriented. If it's all about the money, they're not going to be interested. Those are not the kind of people that join money games either. They're not. For example, those are the kind of personalities we need to also, in showing them, presenting them the opportunity, you know, we're talking about that 10-minute video, that we can also let them know about the Foundation for Life, what we're doing around the world, the schools that we're building for children that do not have schools, giving them education, changing their lives, as well as our Fortify products, how we're feeding and caring for many children around the world. Whales love that. They love that. And they can get behind that kind of a company that has that caring, nurturing attitude. So when you prospect whale-type people, you need to always mention about how good this company is. And what not only what the owners are doing, but what you personally are doing. I just got an acknowledgement letter the other day from the Foundation for Life, thanking me and Michelle for how we've supported it through the years. No doubt many of you have done that. Make sure that you mention that, talk about that. And we also have excellent videos on that. So if they want to know more about that, they can go to the forlife.com website, and they can see several videos on what Foundation for Life is doing and what we're doing with our Fortify product and how we're making a difference out there in the world. Whale-type personalities love that because they see it's not all about the money. Now, what about dolphins? You know, the one thing that's great about a dolphin is a promoter. A dolphin loves to have a good time. They love to party. And, you know, the thing about dolphins is they bring a lot of life to a team. We love dolphins. They're positive, they're funny, they like to joke. They're sort of they're sort of the life, I guess, of a team in a way. You know, they really are. They're the movers, they're the shakers. They make things happen. And so when we talk to dolphin-type personalities, the one thing that we got to make very clear, this is fun. This is fun. If we come across as serious in our product, scientific, they're not going to be interested. So it's very important that we show them how much fun we're having. Now, certainly, there's some things that would appeal to them, like, for example, our trips. Some of you have been on those. About, just recently we had one in the Dominican Republic where we had 200 of our leaders in the Dominican having fun in the sand, zip lining, doing everything. And it was posted on the 4Life channel recently. It's good for them to see that people in our business are having fun, that this is a fun business. We don't want to load these kind of people down with a lot of information about the product. That's a big mistake. They won't like that. They like to experience, just have like instantaneous feelings about products. We talked recently about some of those type of products, like our Ria Vita, for example. It's a great tasting product. It's also a party product. It's perfect when you sit down, or if you're just with a group of people. And you can even do this on the beach. Anywhere you just bring out a bottle of Ria Vita, start pouring some juice out, letting them taste it, and then just talk to them about, you know what? You see how easy this is? You just share the juice with people, and you make money. It's called simple social marketing. It's social marketing. Some call it network marketing. We'll just call it social marketing because that's what we're doing. We're getting together. We're just having fun. I mentioned on a conference call a few weeks ago about just loaning someone out the Anumi products. Hey, take it home. Try it for a week. If you don't like it, bring it back. No big deal. That's awesome. Dolphins don't like salespeople. They get annoyed by salespeople. But when you have that puppy dog approach, you give a product like that, the Anumi, say take it home for a week, see what you think, or you share the juice, you show how easy it is. And some of our other fun products, our fitness products, our weight loss products, we have a lot there that they can experience. But what we don't want to do again with dolphins is try to make them doctors. We don't want them out there chasing people who have cancer or diseases. Let me ask you, friends, really, of all our platinums and our gold international diamonds, how many of them had cancer prior to 4Life? I'm not aware of one. Now, if there is one, please let me know. But I'm not aware of one. So keep that in mind, that it didn't take a sickness to motivate any of us to become what we are in 4Life, as platinums or as golds. It didn't take an illness. What motivated us were different things. And we're different type of personalities. I'm much different than Dave Daughtry. Much different. Dave tends to be, and Dave, if you're on this call, I hope you agree, but if you don't, you can let me know. But Dave's definitely a shark. Dave's a shark. In the sense that he's aggressive, but he's also an urchin. Urchins like to collect information. And in other words, they tend to be analytical. And those kind of people actually make very good teachers in terms of the compensation plan, and things like that. And Dave is an excellent teacher. Again, I'm different in that sense. I tend to be somewhere between the dolphin and the whale. If it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. I do have to be convinced that what 4Life has is a product that will really make a difference in people's lives, or I just won't get involved in it. And that's where I was, over 15 years ago. But back to the dolphin, their primary motive is fun, and if they can see that this business is fun, that everybody's having a good time, and that you have an online system. They can call their friends. They keep it informal. It's not really a serious thing that they're asking their friends to do or to get involved with, but just to share it and have fun. Then they're going to join you. There's a saying: they can get things done if you keep it fun, and that's the way dolphins are. And back to the urchins, again, urchins like coral reefs. They like to cling to things, and they like to gather things. And urchin type personalities. They like to gather information, and again, keep in mind, if you're an urchin type personality, dolphins are not going to enjoy that at all. If you're prospecting somebody like that, and you tend to be an urchin personality, you have to tone it down. You have to learn to smile more. You have to be more sociable the way you talk. Not be as serious. Be lighthearted. And when you prospect these people, prospect them in ways that they want to be prospected. With sharks, they're going to want to know the opportunity. They're going to want to know, what does this mean to me? You're an urchin. I don't like urchins. I don't like urchins because it's too much information. I don't have time for information. So if you're an urchin personality, whatever you share with a shark, you have to keep it short. Again, our presentation does that, explains everything there. That's the beauty of it. If we use those tools properly, despite our personality differences, we can be very successful. Very successful. And the thing is, if you're an urchin and you recruit sharks or dolphins type personalities, those are the movers and shakers. Believe me, they are the movers and shakers. I look at Sherry Den, for example. Sherry Den, Gold International Diamond out of Singapore. She's definitely a shark urchin. I mean, she's very aggressive. At the same time, she's very, very meticulous when it comes to information. And she's also very good at designing promotional materials for her team. Things that she designs in the Malay language, in their language. Also, the promotions that they do to motivate their leaders. She's very meticulous in all that area. I'm not good at that. I don't have an urchin-type personality, so details irritate me. They really do. See, that's the beauty of it. And so Cherry is different in that sense from me, but together we make a great team. Where I'm weak, she's strong. And that's the way it works with all of us. We'll see that these 4 different personality types, they really complement one another as a team. As a team. So, the old saying, it takes teamwork to make the dream work, is really true with these personality types. Know that when you build your organization, when you're working with different leaders in your organization, if you tend to feel irritated, then just understand that difference is very good for your team, because together we can all perform different roles in our team and yet still work together and make a great team. And when we prospect people, we need to make sure that we understand the personality of each. You notice I talk a little bit slower. Whales tend to do that. So if you're a shark, you're probably already irritated with me. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just passing on some information. It might be a little slower, but hopefully you'll use that, Mr. Shark, when you prospect people out there. It's very important. We tend, even when we're on the telephone, and I notice this when I'm speaking now, that when we sit down at a desk and if we're calling a friend to be able to invite them to a presentation, whether it's offline or online, when we talk to people, we need to make sure that we don't get lazy and there's certain things that we shouldn't do when we're at a table. If we find ourselves resting our elbow on the table, we're already telling our body to take it easy and relax. What we need to do is make sure that we are in that invitation. When we call a friend and say, hey, I've got something I want to share with you. Keep in mind, we're talking about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. And you remember the last four letters, I, and then there's A-S-M. I am sold myself. We have to be sold on what we're presenting to a shark, to a dolphin, to an urchin, to a whale. We need to be able to be there in that invitation. And then when we call them back, with urchins, be ready. Because with urchins, they might want more information about the product. And email them the link, the 8-minute video, Dr. Rob Robertson, his presentation on transfer factor. They tend to want a little more information. Hopefully they won't fall into the analysis paralysis trap. Some do that. But just be ready for that. If you're a shark, sometimes you get a little irritated urchins because they want more information. It's okay. Let them be patient. Let them have a little bit more information there. Just give them enough. Just give them enough so it satisfies them that we really have a tremendous product here. Again, with dolphins, keep it fun. With whales, show that we're very cause-oriented. And with sharks, certainly, there's lots of opportunity here for a shark. Well, I want to thank everyone for getting on this call. I try to keep it to 30 minutes. And I hope that you have a successful week in what you do this week. Hey, set some goals, personal growth goals in reading, learning, as well as your business. Set some goals in that area too. I wish you all the success. And now I'm going to shut down the call now, and then I'm just going to open it up, but I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you for being on the call.